What's going on, guys? Welcome to Shades Tube Late Night Night Owls Talk Time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is April the 15th, 2025. It is 9:30 p.m. out here on the West Coast. I tried to come on a little bit earlier. We definitely won't be in here long for real, because earlier I did do a live. I just wanted to come back and give you guys some more information on Karmelo. I just wanted you guys to see his video, what his dad was saying when he left from the bond hearing. We're going to just watch that, and basically that's it with that one. And then I want to show y'all what Gene Hackman's house looked like, because remember when I talked about it before, I couldn't show y'all the pictures. So I'm going to show y'all that. And we're going to talk about Diddy's pleading not guilty to an additional ex-trafficking charge. All right, so go get you something to drink or to eat, a relaxing seat, bed, or whatever. Take time to watch Shades Tube. If you are at work, continue to do your job, but watch Shades Tube on the down low. All right, let's go ahead and do that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. Part of it is scrolling across that screen, and it will be in my comment area. I got to put it on my other video too, guys. I've been gone ever since I got off the first live and haven't done my tags or anything. So I'm going to do all of that real quick after this live. And plus, I also need to do my reaction video, but it won't be up until tomorrow, okay? All right. I hope you guys had a beautiful day, and I hope your night is just as beautiful, guys. And happy and blessed Wednesday in advance to you guys. All right. On the East Coast, it is. I think it's already Wednesday. So happy and blessed Wednesday to you guys in other areas. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches us in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. What's up, Jermaine? What's up? Thank you for tuning in, hon. All right. Y'all, don't forget, if you want to show additional support for this channel, besides watching, you can also like. Okay, make sure you like. Where's my banners at? I forgot. I'm rushing, so that's why. Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell, share, and leave a comment. Okay, so make sure you do all of these things, guys. And tomorrow I'm going to have some new emojis up there for y'all. All right, so make sure y'all do all of these things. If you want to show additional support for this channel, you can do that by feeling free to donate if you like. Do a super sticker, super chat membership for $4.99, or a cash app to $Shades Tube. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. All right. And don't forget, anything you donate over here, it goes strictly to, for the channel. And that's it. All right. All right. Let me take this down real quick. Hold on. Let me take my comment down. Okay. Okay. So we're going to talk about, let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's go ahead and do Karmelo Anthony first. Let's go ahead and get right to it. And remember this, I'm not going to elaborate on him much at all because we already covered him earlier today. Okay, I just wanted you guys to see this video real quick, and then we're going to go from there. Let me go ahead and mute this all the way down, this background music that I can hear. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I definitely can hear it. So we're going to split the screen. Okay, and I'm going to show you this video. Share screen. And I already got it up for you guys. I love it when I'm prepared. Okay, y'all ready? Wait, let me start it over. Unmute it. Let's remind it.
All right. Come on, man. Just follow back behind us. Just stay close, okay?
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say? Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Karmelo, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
All right. Come on, man. Just follow back behind us. Just stay close, okay?
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say? Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Well, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated?
Okay, so we're gonna stop this now. Okay, right there. Okay. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that video? Right, trying to make him out to be a monster. He's just a baby, right? The thing about it, babies do unalive people. Okay, let's keep it real. Teenagers and some younger kids. However, once again, I'm going to keep on saying the same thing, that this is self-defense. I don't care what you guys are talking about who don't believe this is self-defense. The only thing that I will be concerned with is when he goes to court and the judge and jury look at all the evidence, the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, when they look at all of the evidence and then they make their decision, hopefully based on what they see in the audios and the evidence and all that stuff. Because to sit up here on social media listening to all these racist people tripping out, not looking at the entire thing, is actually a hot mess. It really truly is. It's really appalling, because the thing is, we do understand that a child lost his life, and we definitely, we are sorry about that. However, let's look at the real picture. The child should have never confronted this dude. Even if he decided to confront this dude verbally, you never do threatening things. You never say threatening words. You never threaten to throw someone out of somewhere. It's a public place. It doesn't matter about, it's this team's tent. So what? A lot of people sit underneath teams' tents and stuff, especially when it's pouring down raining. The correct thing to do in this case, in this situation, was to, you can ask him verbally. If he did not want to comply, then you go over there and you tell the coaches if he's getting on your nerves that much. All right, point blank. You don't put things into your hand and try to handle things yourself like you have some type of authority and you are grown. That is a no-no. Okay, that's why you have teachers there. All right. So for me, like I said before, I am definitely going to stick with what I said before, because I definitely believe that Austin was definitely the aggressor. Evidence supports that. I do believe other things happened, and some witnesses support that. We know who started it. That's the aggressor, Austin. As far as the knife in his bag, yes, I would like to know why he was carrying a knife. I'm sure we all would like to know that. However, for them to insinuate he brought the knife there to unalive this kid is crazy. Okay, remember, he's not the one who started it. I don't understand why you privileged people think that this other kid had any right to be putting his hands on this dude, threatening this dude if he did, or anything else that he did that encouraged him to do what he did, to think he's, to use, self-defense, and to believe that's what he's using. All right. Hey, most hated Browns, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy and blessed Wednesday to you. Okay. So, for me, like I said, for all the other times, for me, this is definitely self-defense. Now, like I said before, if he does get any type of charges, it probably will be, carrying a knife on school-owned property. All right. But, once they see the evidence, if evidence support the theory that he acted in self-defense, in fear for his life, then, I don't see him going to prison. I just don't. You said the trends were Karen bullies. And again, I believe they were bullying him that day. I don't know what the twins did before this day, at school. I haven't seen any accounts of them bullying other people. It could be some information that's out there that states that, but I'm looking at what one of the twin did that day. And then according to another witness, he said that the other twin, along with others, were in this as well. And they actually put hands on this kid. Okay. Somebody said Austin allegedly took his bag as well. And he allegedly punched this dude. All right. And that's why Karmelo said, punch me and you're going to find out. And so I guess they went on. I guess they was verbally harassing him at first. And then when he said, punch me and find out, that's when they actually showed him. And then that's when Karmelo, and then they was proceeding to push him out. And Karmelo must have went in his bag right then and there and, took out a knife and stabbed the dude. And then you got people saying that he knew it, that he was trying to unalive this kid. I don't think so. I think he acted, at the spur of the moment, self-defense. He said Shay and the other kids said they were victims of being, really? And see, that is not out. It's like his dad being incarcerated one day for extra assault. And I did not have a chance to look at his court case, but I'm going to try to do that tonight because I want to see exactly what that consists of, because I understand why the person who put it up went through it really quick. But I like to, make sure the evidence, the proof, I like to make sure that stuff is as it's seen. All right. Now, when you go through it real fast, most people can't read what it actually says. So, me being Shay's tube, I'm going to pause it, keep on looking until I see it. And that's when I saw that he was incarcerated for only 1 day. So I don't know if he was actually indicted for extra assault. That's why I need to look at that arrest report and look at that and see what it says. But even if he wasn't, just, for someone to accuse you of that and the police believe that you did that, it speaks volumes. All right. While he was worried about what type of family this kid, Anthony, came from, we need to be asking the question, what type of family did Austin Metcalf come from? All right. And that's just on everything. And this is not to forget about Austin losing his life. Okay. Because we definitely hate that happen. Let me stress that again. None of this should have happened. And I said that before. But the thing is, we as parents, we need to teach our children to not take things to not take certain things and put it in their hands. If something is wrong, you need to report that to someone who can take care of it. Someone in a position, authoritative position, to see what's going on. You listen, Austin did not own that tent, the park, or anything, the field, or anything, the bleachers, or anything. And if you push people on bleachers and stuff, trust me, you can severely hurt them. And most people are not going to react very nicely. I saw a video. I can't remember when it was. I think it was last year sometime. And I think the lady did something to the man on the bleachers. I can't remember exactly what it was. And y'all know he slapped the shit out of her. Okay, he really did. And people ran to stop him, I believe. Or either he slapped her and he just stopped himself. I can't remember. So you can't be pushing people on bleachers and stuff, because you can you can really, hurt them. And, when you got a bunch of people basically, could be ganging up on you, what do you expect for people to do? Or even if he thought they were going to gang up on him. And this kid is only 140 pounds, Austin 200 pounds. Okay, come on now. Then he got his 200-pound brother with him. And other reports, it says that he weighed more than 200. So you got both of these big old dudes pushing up on this little kid right here who did nothing. He was on his phone. Okay. And then everybody want to talk about his life. And so many people, including teenagers, carry knives on them. Y'all need to stop. When I was talking to teens, and I met a couple of teens, not just one. Do you know all of them had weapons? Okay, the girl had a knife because I was telling her be careful when she's getting inside of lifts and stuff like that. And she told me she brings a weapon. And I asked her what kind of weapon she has, and she told me she got her pocket knife. Okay, just like the little dudes. So don't think teens don't carry stuff. I don't know where you guys live at. I don't care if you live in the suburbs or what, because I definitely live in the suburbs. Okay, the entire city, very, very nice. And people out here, including these kids, carry stuff. Some even carry GUNs. So y'all stop acting like these kids don't be having weapons. Look at all the tragedies in the news that children do. So stop playing. Hey, Petty Queen, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Shades Tube. Jermaine said, we don't have to appease them by saying, oh, it's so sad. They lost their life. They don't do that when one of ours pass on. Well, you know, Jermaine, I understand what you're saying, but you know, naturally, that's what I do. All right. Hold on, y'all. Like I said, Jermaine, you know me pretty much. So you know, I'm not a racist or anything, and I don't look at stuff the same way other people look at it. I don't like to see when any kid gets unalive unless they try to unalive somebody else. Okay, I still don't like to see them get unalive, but it's self-defense is a little bit different. But I still feel sorry for them when they lose their life. This situation right here is a little bit different anyway. Even though Metcalf was the aggressor and trying to beat him up and stuff, I just think all of this could have been avoided. Okay, I think this was just like too much. It could have been avoided. I wish one of those kids would have went over there and got the coaches before it even escalated to this point. All right, and I always say, it's just the way I talk. All right, point blank, and it is sad. I know you feel different. Yeah, they did. They really did. I know you feel different, and a lot of other people do. But this is the way, Shades Tube handle everything. It is still, sad, that he lost his life. Simple as that for me. I know a lot of people say the same thing that you're saying right here, but I think you should still show, some type of sympathy when people get unalive, because you just never know, but I do think that Karmelo Anthony is innocent. I think he used self-defense. I'm sorry. I don't care who don't like it. And I think he deserved to be out on bail, point blank. All right. So he can get all his stuff together so they can make sure they beat this. And I honestly believe that they will beat it. You said you better wake up. Well, you know what? Just because I said, it doesn't mean that I don't know this. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I don't know these things, and of course, what Jermaine said is somewhat true, you guys, because look at how they are acting, regarding this. And, and when I recall Travion and McGee, Javion McGee, Travion, Sonia Bland, all these people who just got unalive recently, when I think about this, I don't recall hearing a lot of people saying that. So only certain people were saying that. For the most part, they were making excuses like always, not being accountable for their actions. It's not good, you guys. It's really not good. It's not good. Okay. It's not good at all. You guys know y'all can say whatever y'all want to over here. You don't have to agree with me. I'm gonna let you guys know that straight up, because over here, Shades Tube is fair. You can say, because Jermaine always say what he wants to say. And I'm gonna keep it respectful, so you guys can feel free to not agree with what Shades Tube says. I'm gonna just tell you that straight up. Jermaine said just what he said. Let me just put this back up here again. He said, we don't have to appease them by saying, it's so sad. They lost their life. They don't do that when one of ours passes on. They call Travion all sorts of names. So F him. You better wake up. We are in war with these people. And Petty Queen said, let's go, Jermaine. So I'm pretty sure she supported what Jermaine said. All right. Okay. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still gonna say that Austin Metcalf put himself in this situation. And again, it's a couple of things we need to teach our kids. Number one, keep your hands to yourself. Number two, stay out of other people's business. Number three, stop taking stuff into your hands when you need not to. And number four, when someone warns you and tell you to back up, you need to back your ass up. Otherwise, things like this could happen. Okay? Things like this could happen. Let me tell y'all a funny story. My granddaughter had to be like 6 months old. And she was telling me, bag up, Gigi, bag up. She didn't want me or nobody else close to her. This little 6 months, she may have even been younger than that. Little girl was saying bag up. When she said bag up, I left her alone. Okay? So this is a baby who couldn't really do anything. I'm just respecting what the baby wanted because clearly she didn't want me all up on her. So when an older child or any person tell your kids or even you to bag up, leave me alone, you need to do that. Because then if you don't, then you are opening up yourself to whatever may happen. Okay? And yeah, I'm going to say but that's all I'm basically going to say, you guys, because you have to learn how to, think with common sense, with these kids here, Austin and Anthony, I can imagine what happened for real. Like I told you guys before, I don't believe the stories that they are out here saying, like Austin didn't really do nothing. Like he just, saw the dude underneath the tent and just said to him, you don't go to the school, do you? So this is our tent, so you need to leave. And then Karmelo said, who the heck you talking to? I'm not leaving, I'm staying underneath here. No, I don't believe that. I believe he told him, you don't go to this school, so you don't need to be up in this damn tent. You know what I'm saying? So get your ass up out of this tent. We don't want you here. This is our team tent. And then Anthony probably didn't like that because he's probably like, who are they talking to? I'm staying here. It's raining out there. I'm not about to get out of from this tent. I'm over here minding my business. Here y'all come. And then since he would not get up and leave, that's when everything popped off. Okay, and escalated to what it is. People say, well, why didn't he just fight the boy back? I thought y'all said that it was no fight. I thought y'all said that Austin didn't hit him or anything. So what are you guys talking about? He don't need to be fighting. No, boy. And then he got his twin brother right there too. And then all the team people there too. All Austin's friends, they would have jumped him. Another witness said they did jump him. He said that they punched him and everything. And again, like I said so many times before, that's why he said, punch me and find out, or punch me and see what happens. And he was feeling threatened. That's why he grabbed his bag. That's why he went in his bag. He was feeling threatened, period. So I don't care what you guys come up with, how you try to paint the picture, try to say this boy is a thug. He's a thug with a 3-point-something grade point average. It's above 3.5. All right, or somewhere around that amount. It's more than 3.3, I tell you that. He was, I don't know if he still is, the captain of the football team and the captain of his track team. The little guy has 2 jobs, one at HEB, the other one at Foot Locker. So what type of thug is doing all of this? He saved another kid's life a couple years ago. Okay. And I heard other good things about this kid. And his parents are still married. Well, I forgot how many years, but it's more than 10. All right. The mom is a stay-at-home mother. The dad works, but right now he's not working because he's trying to help his son. They went out and got a house because they have been threatened. People have been sending them text messages, emails, or whatever with notes saying they're, I guess saying they're going to unalive them or whatever the case is. But I know I read that they sent them text messages with little black kids with knives in their heads or necks. So why do you guys think they're going to stay in the same location they're at now? That's stupid. And then they wrote up the article like they took the entire $400 and something thousand and bought a house. That's a damn lie. You know good and well those people probably put a down payment down on that house because they know good and damn well that the legal fees are going to be a lot. So they need to be ready for that. They're not going to spend up all their money on a damn house when their son is trying to stay out of jail or prison. That's stupid. But white media wrote that article up there to make people think just that. And that's not right. Because for me, the same energy that they have right now regarding this situation is the same energy they should have had when innocent Black people get unalive, when innocent Latino people get unalive, homeless people, okay? And people who are on drugs and mental people. We have a story right now where they shot that little 19, I can't remember how old the little dude is. Anyway, he is autistic. They shot him 9 times. But you guys are sitting up here talking craziness, but you're not talking about that situation right there. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all need to keep the same energy that you got for Karmelo for the police who did this kid like this, who has autism. He said, shit, that's right. You said no different than when the Black man is harassed in his own neighborhood by the racists down the street. They just didn't want him under the tent because he was Black. And you know what, Jermaine, I definitely believe that. You know, I told you that I don't want things to be like, racial over here, but I did tell Jermaine that as well. I said, I believe they saw this little Black kid over there. They probably called him the Nigger name. I don't know if they did or not. Told him to get his Black ass away from underneath this tent. We can't have that, what, over here underneath our tent. Okay? It probably, they probably was saying something like this. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing. They just didn't want him under that tent because I'm thinking to myself, and I said this to you guys before. I said, if the kid would have been white, I wonder if this would have been a little different. If I could actually change stuff, time back and go back and put a white kid there, I would like to see if something would be different. Like even when I be out from day to day and I go in certain stores and stuff and I notice how they treat Black people and how they watch, I always be wondering if a white person is in the store, would they be doing the same thing? And I have actually stood there and watched. I'm going to be perfectly honest, you guys. I'm really am. And I do know they treat Black people different in some stores, especially in Walmart, allegedly. But they do. It ain't even no allegedly. They really do. Okay? So that's why I don't shop at Walmart as much as I used to. I used to be at Walmart so much. I still go, but not like I used to. Okay? And sometimes for a long time, I didn't go at all. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I just really started going back to Walmart not too long ago so much. But I used to really be at Walmart before I started noticing certain things. I have had to tell off a few people in Walmart who work at Walmart for watching me because I don't like that. To me, it's very disrespectful. I mean, that's why you got cameras, okay? You don't have to follow people around the store. And I remember one time a security person was doing that. I told that security person off. I'm going to be perfectly honest. And then I called the manager, and then I called the district manager, and then I called headquarters because that's ridiculous. Okay, I'm up here looking at sanitary products because I'm allergic to them, right? And I'm looking at the ingredients, the ingredients that's, they use to make sure that I'm not allergic to any of the products. And she watching. Y'all, I'm not going to lie, I told her ass off. I'm going to be perfectly honest. And it wasn't nice. I bet you they don't follow me no more. They still remember. They don't follow me anymore. Okay. I'm like, damn, I will give y'all a lawsuit. This is the lawsuit person right here. Okay. And every time I do lawsuits, I usually win. I'm not going to lie. Walmart, I took them to court once before and won. All right. I really did when I lived in ATL. All right. So please, I don't be playing that. And that's what we need to do. When these people be doing stuff and we have proof that they're doing it, stop talking about it and be about it. All right. Stop talking about it and be about it. Stop letting these racist ass clowns do what they want. I'm not advocating you to do violence, but you need to do legal stuff. That's on everything. and show them who they playing with. Stop letting these people do stuff, these organizations, companies, whatever. Stop letting them do stuff. Okay? Period. And as far as Karmelo Anthony, I am so happy that judge reduced his bond. I don't give a damn who don't like it. I'm glad. I wish they would have reduced it down to $150,000. All right? And then that one attorney talking about, well, why come you didn't pay the first bond? I'm like, is he slow? Why would they do that when they know within their legal rights they can request a lower bond and pay a lesser amount so they can have more money left to be able to defend their child to the best of their capabilities? That just was a stupid ass question. And I'm so glad that, they don't think like I do, because I'll be answering certain things, nothing that will incriminate my son, but stupid shit like that. I just would have said something stupid back, because that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Don't be asking people that stupid shit. Why would you pay the first bond when you have within your rights, you can request, your attorneys can request the bond to be lowered? That's stupid. Why would you even pay the first one? And they know their son is innocent. They know he did self-defense. This is a good kid. For real. That's a good kid. He's not perfect, but he's a good kid. Because one person said he got in a fight. So what if he got in a fight? A lot of kids get in fights, but it doesn't mean they're bad. Now, if he's getting into fights every single damn day, every single week, and things like that, that's totally different. Okay, but a lot of kids get into a fight at school. It doesn't mean they're bad. Point blank. All right. Now, I think it was one more video. If I can find it, I wanted to show you guys. Then we're going to move on from Karmelo. And my prayers are with his family, and I pray that they beat all of this, and it is what it is. And my condolences are expressed out to Austin's family. I'm still going to say that we can't do certain things like other people do it as well. You know what I'm saying? Not having no remorse. All right. I firmly believe that you get blessed when you show remorse for others. Point blank. All right. You may not like what they did, but you still be remorseful for them, because there is a higher power that is looking at everything, and we all will be held accountable for the things that we do, and that's on everything. All right. So let me see if I can get this other, and that's whether you believe in God or not. All right. If you don't believe me, if you could only talk to the people who just passed on, if you could only talk to them, then I guarantee you would change your mind about a lot of things. Okay, I personally know that God exists. And one day I'll give you guys the story again. Not tonight, but I'll tell you guys again. All right. So let me go over here and look at the screen real quick. And let me see if I can find the other one real quick. I don't know if I can, but I'll see. Let's see. Forgot what the dude's name. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because I was just watching it. Is this him right here? Let me see. I don't know. I don't think this is him right here. He probably talking something else. So he claimed, okay, let me watch his stuff. Let's watch his stuff real quick, okay? I don't know what he's going to say, so we get ready to see this. I want to see this real quick.
Uh-oh, we got some video. Did you know the police have 3 videos reportedly that they're going through and looking over for evidence? Do you think that any of those videos show some type of self-defense, which may be why Karmelo Anthony's bond got dropped to $250,000 and he's sitting at home with mommy and daddy tonight? Now, over the days I've been following this, I've been hearing a lot of people say, he assaulted him, that's why he unalived them. Let me explain something to you. Assault is verbal threat. It doesn't have to be physical. When you hear assault and battery, someone threatened someone and then they physically harmed them. Okay, keep that in mind. I want to take you back a minute. Remember when you were 17 and you were in high school? Now you know the definition of assault. How many times in high school do you think that you got assaulted, that you got verbally assaulted?
We're talking
Somebody
about physical
threatened you,
assaulted.
threatened harm upon you. How many times do you think that happened? Think about it for a minute. Okay, now that you got that number in your mind, think again. Back when you were 17, how many fights did you see in your high school? I saw a bunch. People were fighting every single day. Football team was fighting the other football team every Friday night. That's just what we did in the country. We just played football and fought people. All right, here's the last thought. This is the most important. Of all those fights that you saw when you were in high school, when you were 17 years old, think in your mind what would have happened if when those fights started, they always start with two people pushing each other. I push you, you push me back, then it's on. Of all those fights, what would have happened if someone would have pulled out a blade and stabbed the other person? There would be millions of teen unalivings every single day. Uh-oh, we got some video. Did you know the police have 3 videos reportedly that they're going through and looking over for evidence?
Oh, it's this shit. Okay. Yeah, we do know about the evidence, but it doesn't show it shows how, listen, we know about the videos, okay? The thing is this right here. This dude is talking about when he was in school. We're not talking about when he was in school. Things are a little bit different now, all right? And we know what type of assault we are talking about. We are talking about physical assault when he pushed the kid, all right? They're not on the sidewalk. They weren't on the sidewalk. They weren't in the school. They were on bleachers. So if he would have pushed him hard enough, okay, he could have got severely injured, even unalived himself, okay? You got a bunch of kids coming toward this dude. He has every right to try to defend himself. The choice of how he defends himself is on the person who's defending themselves at that point in time. We can't sit here and say, oh, back when I was going to school, a bunch of kids fought. If everybody grabbed a knife or a weapon, it'd be a bunch of unalivings. We can't go back there. We can't look at that because kids were different back then and there, okay? We need to look at the situations now. You got a bunch of physical and verbal assaults happening now in the schools and outside of the schools. I just read an article where a kid beat the hell out of another kid, beat that kid to unalive. Okay, so dude, it is what it is. Don't use examples from back in the day when you were in school. Use the examples from now. Kids now are different than when myself and other grown and overly grown ass people were kids. Kids are thinking on a whole different level. All right, point blank. See, I'm sick and tired of people not saying what's real. None of this shit should have happened. I told you guys that before. All right, the dude should have never approached him in the first place. I'm sick of you guys overlooking that. He should have never approached him in the first place. He damn sure should have even put his hands on him, threatened him, pushed him, threatened to push him, or anything. None of this stuff should have happened. Because if he wouldn't have done any of that, then this dude would have never went in his bag. Point blank. Goodness, y'all stop doing that. Okay, stop doing that. We already know about video evidence and all this other stuff. The point is this right here. Even if it's self-defense, they're going to look at to see if it was excessive. All right, depending on what Austin and his people did at that particular time and how Anthony perceived that. You're not Anthony, so you don't know how he perceived the threat at that time. He probably was scared. And we already know this was not premeditated or planned or thought about or anything. That's why Anthony was crying. That's why Anthony asked, was Austin okay? Y'all need to cut that out now. I mean, this dude was cool and everything, but we know where you're going with this whole entire thing. Using scenarios when you was in school and about all these other fights these kids be in. Every situation is different. All right, you cannot compare two situations. Okay, when everything is different, you got different people, a different area, different everything. What you should have been saying is that none of this should have happened. Austin should have never approached this kid in the first place. He should have went and get the coaches. All right, that's what you should have been saying, dude. And that's on everything. And that's what everybody needs to say. I am so sick of these people in this world saying stupid stuff. Okay, that's why it's so much violence happening. That's why time after time you keep on seeing articles where kids are unaliving other kids or doing other crimes because people are sitting up here making damn excuses when you shouldn't be. The thing is that this boy should have never confronted this boy in the first place. And the people who were with him, his brother and everybody else should have been in it either. They should have went and got the daggone coaches. That's what their job entails, to keep everything in order as well. Okay, point blank. And then why was everybody so damn bothered, those kids so bothered by this boy sitting underneath this tent when it's pouring down raining? Why? Y'all need to face the real facts and stop just trying to act like this kid just stabbed the shit out the other one and unalived him, because he's a thug and he's just evil and everything else. Stop that. Stop that for real, for real. But you guys are going to get what you're looking for doing all of this. Like I said, there is a higher power, whether you believe in it or not. So I don't have to worry about it. And I know that they're going to find all that evidence. They're going to see everything and they're going to know what really happened. Okay, while y'all sitting up here making these videos talking about, it's true, that's probably why he got burned. Of course, they probably saw that. But they're really going to decipher all of the proof. You better believe that. They're going to look at everything to see if they can figure out exactly what happened, see who's lying, because I know Hunter changed his story 3 to 4 times. Okay, I also know one girl is lying. All right. Now, the other dude who said all that stuff, the black dude, I don't know if he's lying or not. And not because he's black, I just don't know if he is or not. Okay, because, we need to see if he's actually telling the truth or he's making it up. But it sounds like he is telling the truth, because his story goes right along with what I heard and what I read, point blank. All right. So I'm not going to share any more stories more videos, because they're about to tee me off and y'all know what's going to happen. So let's move on. Okay. For real, for real. Y'all know what's going to happen. All right. So let me go ahead and move on. So now let's move on to, I think I had Diddy up here. What did I have up here? Let me see. So I got to get ready to go in a minute. Let me look. Okay. I had the right name. I had to make sure. Let me go over here and change this to Diddy. Hold on. What is Diddy's name? And here it is. I got Diddy updates, Diddy news. Let's do Diddy updates. Let's take this Diddy news down. Okay, so let's go and skip everything and talk about Diddy real quick, because I want to show y'all those Gene Hackman picture things too. So let me hurry up. So Diddy, y'all. Anyway, Diddy pleads not guilty to new trafficking charges, you guys. And here we got another case where they are basically a lot of people are being racist even with him. You know what I'm saying? You got the Abercrombie Finch dudes, ex-CEO, who's charged with some of the same stuff, and even more so. And just because he's has some health illnesses, he got a bail. He got a bail. He got bailed out. He got a bond. He got bailed out. And he's not sitting incarcerated. He's been out for the longest. You got Russell Brand. You got a lot of these people with similar charges. And where are they at right now? But then y'all want to come down on Diddy, especially with these damn lawsuits where people may be lying, where they have proven a lot of people are not just telling the truth. And that's why some of them don't want to give their names or anything. It's just plainly ridiculous. So anyway, they did say Sean Diddy Combs entered a not guilty plea on Monday to an expanded federal indictment that now includes 5 criminal counts encompassing ex-trafficking, racketeering, and transportation for the P word. The new charges involved a second alleged victim referred to in court documents as victim 2. Prosecutors alleged that between 2021 and 2024, Combs used force, fraud, or coercion to compel her into commercial acts and transported her and others for the P word. So let's see here. So during the hearing in Manhattan federal court, U.S. District Judge Aaron Submaranian reaffirmed the trial schedule, with jury selection set for May the 5th and opening statements expected on May the 12th. Okay, so that's why the other newspaper had May the 12th there. And I kind of figured that out, because remember I said probably on May the 5th, they're going to probably be doing jury selection. And then on the 12th, that's when the actual trial will probably start. Anyway, we know that Combs is still in custody. Now, we did have somebody, I can't remember who said they think that Combs they were told allegedly that Combs would be released on bail. We see where that went. Okay. Anyway, Combs' legal team, led by attorney Mark Agnafilo, maintains that the allegation stem from past consensual relationships and do not involve new accusers. They have filed motions to extensively question potential jurors on sensitive topics such as DRUG and alcohol abuse, domestic violence, and sexual attitudes, arguing that the case content requires candor. Prosecutors, however, advocate for a more concise juror questionnaire focused only on issues relevant to determining impartiality. I know I just said that crazy. Now, in a separate motion, Combs' attorneys have accused the federal government of leaking a 2016 surveillance video showing him assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, to CNN. They argue that the leak was intended to damage Combs' reputation and jeopardize his rights to a fair trial. Prosecutors have denied possessing the video before its public release. So, like we already know, it's a long article here. I don't want to read. Let me see. I can go ahead and go over this real quick. So, while Combs is awaiting trial, he is housed in the 4th North Unit of the Metropolitan Detention Center. All right. He uses a restricted laptop to review evidence, and he regularly meets with his legal team. His attorneys have objected to government monitoring of his communications and searches of his personal notes, while prosecutors accuse him of misusing phone privileges to contact potential witnesses. As we know, Combs faces many civil lawsuits from both women and men alleging sexual abuse. Prosecutors claim he exploited his celebrity status and orchestrated a network of associates to abuse, silence, and traffic women using threats, violence, and intimidation, including blackmail, arson, and physical assault. A pretrial conference is scheduled for April the 18th as both sides prepare for what is expected to be a highly scrutinized trial. And y'all know that I would definitely be keeping you guys on top of this the entire time or entire length of the trial. So what do you guys think about this? Jermaine, Most Hated Blog. Most Hated Bronze. I keep on calling you MHB, man. Petty Queen. What do you guys think about this? About Diddy? Do y'all think he's guilty? Do you think it's a witch hunt? What do you guys think? Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, as far as the civil lawsuits, I definitely don't believe a lot of people. Okay, point blank. Because for me, I'm like, where is the real proof? Why did these people wait so long? If you were scared back then, why aren't you scared now? He has more power and money and everything. All right. And why did it take Cassie to kick off everything and nobody did anything before Cassie? A few people tried to, but what about all these other people? And also, why did the other person, I forgot the man's name, Manzino or something, I can't remember his name. Why did he delete Beyonce and Jay-Z's name when he said that they were there? Now all of a sudden he deletes their names because they show evidence where they were. Why is that? And why are they allowed to file all these criminal cases, not criminal, civil cases without having, real proof? Why are these lawyers taking these cases if they don't have real proof? Jermaine said it's a public lynching. Cassie is the extorter. Is her extorter. Okay. Cassie. Okay. So why? And then in the criminal case, these things and nobody else was included. So I guess they all testified against Diddy. Because we haven't heard anything about anybody else, but yet some of these victims claim other celebs were there. So, well, maybe they will be at court. Who knows? Okay, but I'm just trying to figure out where are all these other people that also allegedly participated in all these weird things. Because they are included, some of these people are included in these civil lawsuits too. It's just, for me, it's just plainly, crazy. Now, I've been covering this entire case stuff ever since it first started, back in November of last year, I believe. So, I mean, I have went over so much stuff, talking about it so many days. I just honestly feel like they are doing a public lynching. I really do. I mean, I know he is not innocent of everything, but at the same time, I don't believe all of this stuff. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe every single thing. Now, the only way that I will believe it if they have video evidence of him doing these things they are talking about, the coercion, the grape, the P word, the X trafficking, all of this stuff, and maybe they do have evidence that supports this, but I can't wait until that trial starts so we can see it. And I honestly still cannot understand how they can get a jury, right? And none of these people know anything about this case. Where did they get these people from? And they don't know about this case, or they haven't seen any of this information or any of these civil lawsuits, or they did not see the Cassie video. Because I'm like Diddy's attorney. If all of these people saw him beat the hell out of Cassie, that is going to that will set up what is the word I'm looking for? That will make you think, make you already form your opinion about this dude and about his character and his behavior before he even goes to trial. And it can taint people's, perception in, whether they think he's innocent or guilty. So I'm kind of believing what his attorney, is saying, what his attorney is trying to ask the judge to do. Well, he already asked him. He already filed the paperwork for it. I kind of see where his attorneys are going with that, because it is true. I mean, how can it not, interfere with the way people think about this dude? How can it not interfere with his image or anything? And why was that leaked to CNN? Why? Why did that get out? Right, that's what I'm saying. There's no way he pulled off all these crimes by himself. Where are the other people? Okay. It sure is. And I don't believe they're going to show all of that. But we will see, because anything is possible. Okay, anything is possible. So I will be keeping you guys abreast of this information, of all the information that I get on Sean Diddy Combs and on Karmelo Anthony and anything else that I cover. Okay, point blank. Leave your comments in the comment section regarding Diddy. Do you think he's innocent? Do you think he's guilty? Why? And what do you think will happen when that trial is done? Okay. Now, let me go ahead and show y'all these pictures with Gene Hackman's house. And then I'm going to do it on TikTok. And then we are getting ready to get out here because I got to go pick up my dog. I told you I was going to be in a rush tonight. I wasn't lying at all. Okay. Let's see this real quick. All right. Let me go over here to TikTok real quick. Let me mute this. Okay. But I did do almost an hour. So I still gave you guys an hour on everything. Let me do this real quick. I hate to show this, but I had told you guys about it, so therefore I think you need to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't show it. So we're gonna mute the daggone video and we're gonna watch it. Okay. You can see this. Look at all this trash. They said that this house was infested with mice. Okay. They said that clothing was all over the place, not in the entire house, in certain areas. They said parts of the house was totally untouched, but other areas of the house was basically like you see it right now. See, rodent feces at the property. It was later revealed Betsy passed on of the hantavirus and pulmonary syndrome or whatever. They said it's believed she passed first before Hackman. And this is a Santa Fe home. Now, it could be because when she passed on, he could not take care of anything. And this is the way it was. But then again, all these clothes all over the place. I don't know. They also said a CV test box was there and some medications, you know. And then they said that she was searching for CV symptoms online before her unaliving because she thought that he had it. All right. And she also canceled her doctor's appointment because she was, you know, concerned about her husband. So now we know now that she probably caught the hantavirus from the mice that was in her place. That's crazy, you guys. And the way all of that stuff is laying around, you know, in the house, it makes me think that it was a little junky in those rooms before she passed on. It's crazy. Just showing y'all, you know, the house. Because I did already talk about it and I couldn't show you guys the video that day because my mic wasn't working. I still can't get over the rodent feces all over the daggone house. That is crazy, man. And I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, I know she wanted to do everything herself, but still, sometimes you have to call in people to help. You know what I'm saying? You just cannot try to do everything on your own because it was probably getting to be too much for her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, somebody should have came and checked on them, point blank. You know, I know she was way younger than him, but still, somebody should have came there to check on them, you know, to make sure everything was good, especially considering he had severe illnesses going on. And it was only her trying to do everything, trying to take care of the house, trying to take care of him, you know, trying to take care of herself. You know, she was even sick at that time, but probably thought it was the flu, or maybe she even thought that she had CV-19 from him. You just never know because the hantavirus has some of the symptoms of CV-19 or either a cold. So it's a sad situation all the way around and stuff. And I just hate that, you know, they had to go through this and Jean had to suffer, you know, once she passed on. And I wish, you know, they would have had housekeeping or somebody would have came in there and checked on them, period. Because if they would have came in there initially, they would have seen her unalive on the floor. And then they could have possibly, you know, saved him. Or if they would have been checking on them all along, they could have, you know, probably, you know, taken her to the hospital or whatever. I don't know if she would have been saved because the hantavirus is hard to, once you know, get it, it's hard to get it treated successfully. We have had like 3 or 4 people pass on here with that in another part of California. So yeah, once you get it, if you don't get treatments very quickly, it's like a you know what sentence. So, you know, again, my condolences are expressed out to their families and friends. You know, my prayers are sending out to them as well. And may these two, you know, rest in peace, continue to rest in peace. And it's just a sad situation, guys. And that's on everything. All right. So let me stop the screen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Jermaine for always being here showing support. Thank you to Most Hated Bronze for always being here showing support. Welcome, Patty Queen. And thank you so much for stopping by. Shades Tube, I hope you subscribe to the channel. And I hope you come back. And let's see who else. I think that's it over here. And also thanks to everybody in the bushes. Everybody who watches us in the replay. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I may try to do one in the morning. I don't know for sure yet, or I may do it tomorrow night. But I will be doing the Country Wayne reaction video. Y'all make sure y'all check out my video from earlier, my live, check out my latest shopping haul type thing that I did at Dollar Tree. It's not really a haul, but I'm showing you some little cute things they got at Dollar Tree on my shorts. So check that out, and check out my latest video where I was putting wallpaper up in my drawers, and we was having an earthquake at the same time. It was a trip. So check out that video as well. All right. It was a 6.3. Gosh. So anyway, thank you, Jermaine. Thank you so much. And y'all have a good night, and I'll see you guys in my next live. Don't forget the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and leave a comment and share. All right. And again, if you want to show additional support to this channel, you can do that by doing a super sticker, a super chat, a membership for $4.99, or a cash app to $Shades2. All right. So until the next time, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed night, and I will see you guys in my next live. This is Shades2, and I am out. Yeah. I may have a new intro song come on too, so be looking out for that. It's gonna be Shades 2, but I'm just gonna do it the first part of it. So we'll see. All right. Good night, y'all. Peace out. And see y'all tomorrow. There you go. Good night, y'all.